Good afternoon, children. So, ಈ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಮ್ ಡೈಕ್ರೋಮೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಮ್ ಪರ್ಮಾಂಗನೇಟ್. ಸೊ explain the reactions or explain the manufacture of potassium dichromate or explain manufacture of potassium permanganate. ಇದು ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ನು 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದೆರಡು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ potassium permanganate, that is from the mineral pyrolusite. Then what is potassium permanganate? Where potassium permanganate is KMNO4. KMNO4 is called potassium permanganate, where pyrolusite ore is MnO2. Pyrolusite ore is MnO2. Then how to prepare KMNO4 from MnO2? Preparation of KMNO4 from MnO2 involves 2 steps, step 1 and step 2. In step 1, okay, it involves the preparation of potassium manganate from pyrolusite. Step 2 involves potassium manganate undergoes disproportionation in acidic or neutral medium to give the permanganate. So here you can observe, first step alli MnO2 KOH plus O2 jose react agi it forms K2MnO4. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅಯಾನಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಟ್ K2MnO4 ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ KMNO4. ತುಂಬ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. 3 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪೈರಲುಸೈಟ್ ಓರ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ MnO2. ದಟ್ MnO2 ವೆನ್ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ KOH in presence of oxygen. MnO2 in presence of KOH in O2 gives K2MnO4, potassium manganate or manganate. This one undergoes disproportionation in presence of an acid, nothing but in acid medium. K2MnO4 H plus jothe treat ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ it forms KMNO4, potassium permanganate is formed. Pyrolusite 2, this one is step 1. So here to here, this is step 2. Okay. So step 1 and step 2. K2MnO4 na ionized form al barkondre it becomes MnO4 2 minus plus K plus. So here KMNO4 na ionized form al barkondre then it is MnO4 minus and K plus. So here also ನಾನು ionized form ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. So here you people are having MnO4 2 minus, nothing but potassium manganate. This undergoes disproportionation in acidic medium in order to form potassium permanganate. So manufacture of potassium permanganate from pyrolusite ore involves 2 steps. Step 1 is conversion of pyrolusite ore into potassium manganate. Step 2 is conversion of potassium manganate through disproportionation into potassium permanganate. MnO2 when treated with KOH in presence of O2 gives K2MnO4. That K2MnO4 undergoes disproportionation to give KMNO4. It's first one. Next, manufacture of potassium dichromate from chromate ore. So manufacture of potassium dichromate from chromate ore, where potassium dichromate is K2Cr2O7, chromate ore is FeCr2O4. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ FeCr2O4 ನೀವು ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬೇರೆ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು FeOCr2O3 ಅಂತಲೂ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ಒನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್. Then how to prepare potassium dichromate from chromate ore? Preparation of potassium dichromate from chromate ore involves 3 steps. You just note step 1 is conversion of chromate ore into sodium chromate. Step 2, conversion of sodium chromate into sodium dichromate. And step 3, conversion of sodium dichromate into potassium dichromate. So step 1, preparation of sodium chromate. Step 2, conversion of sodium chromate into sodium dichromate. Step 3, conversion of sodium dichromate into potassium dichromate. Okay. Now, in first one, FeCr2O4, what we call it as potassium chromate, chromate ore. This chromate ore, when treated with Na2CO3 in presence of air, it forms Fe2O3 plus 8CO2 plus Na2CrO4. This is what we call it as sodium chromate. So balanced reaction you baribekagate. So exact reaction practice madi. In second step, that Na2CrO4 when treated with H2SO4, it forms Na2Cr2O7, that is sodium dichromate. Step 3, in step 3, that sodium dichromate Na2Cr2O7 when treated with KCl, it forms K2Cr2O7, potassium dichromate. ನಾನು 3 ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ನು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಫಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನು ತೊಗೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, FeCr2O4. This FeCr2O4 when treated with Na2CO3 when treated with Na2CO3 in presence of oxygen, it forms Na2Cr O4, sodium dichromate, sodium chromate is formed. This sodium chromate when treated with sulfuric acid H2SO4, it forms Na2Cr2O7. So Na2Cr2O7 is formed. That Na2Cr2O7 is nothing but sodium dichromate. That Na2Cr2O7 when treated with calculated amount of KCl, it forms K2Cr2O7. Potassium dichromate is formed. This is step 3. So complete 3 step in a single line. Chromate ore to sodium chromate to sodium dichromate to potassium dichromate. Chromate ore when treated with sodium carbonate in excess of air, it forms sodium chromate. This is step 1. Sodium chromate when treated with sulfuric acid, it forms sodium dichromate. This is we call it as step 2. Sodium dichromate when treated with calculated amount of KCl, it forms potassium dichromate. It is step 3. So manufacture of potassium dichromate from chromate ore involves 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So between this one, potassium permanganate, between potassium dichromate, one question must irate, practice madi. And don't forget to write the balanced chemical equations. Okay. Next discuss ಮಾಡುವ. So next one, ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ give reasons. 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ give reason or 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ give reasons ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Give reasons why transition metal acts as catalyst. Give reasons why transition metal form large number of coordination compounds. In such conditions, so here most of the transition metal compounds are colored. Therefore, the color is due to why D block elements are colored. Next one, transition metals and their ions forming complex compounds. So this is due to what? Why they form large number of complex compounds. And one more, most of the transition elements and their compounds acts as good catalyst, or they form good catalytic properties. Why? So why transition metals are colored? Why transition metal form complexes? And why transition metal acts as catalyst? So 2 mark keldag at least you need to write 2 reasons. In that first one, most of the transition metal compounds are colored. That color is due to presence of an unpaired electron. We know that presence of any unpaired electron and any number of unpaired electron can cause color. That is what we call it as DD transition. DD transition. Okay. Another one, the splitting of degenerate d orbitals into two sets. We know that those two sets are, one is EG set, another one is T2G set, under the influence of anions or ligands. Because of these two reasons, most of the transition metal compounds are colored. Second one, transition metal forms large number of complex compounds. Why? First one, it is due to small size of the metal ion. Again, it is due to high ionic charges. And another one most important one, due to availability of d orbitals, that is vacant d orbitals. Due to availability of vacant d orbitals, due to high ionic charge, and due to small size of the metal ion, transition metal and their ions always forms large number of complex compounds. And third one, why most of the transition elements acts as catalyst. We know that catalyst is something which alters the rate of reaction. There are two types of catalyst, positive catalyst and negative catalyst. Positive catalyst is going to increase the rate of reaction, where negative catalyst can decrease the rate of reaction. So D block element L catalyst use ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. We know that iron used as catalyst in Haber's process. Nickel, platinum or palladium used as catalyst in reduction. So why D block element acts as catalyst? First one, due to presence of vacant d orbitals, and second one, due to large surface area for adsorption. Third one, the presence of partially filled d orbitals, and due to variable oxidation state. So because of these four factors, most of the transition metal acts as catalyst. Why D block element acts as catalyst? Due to availability of vacant d orbitals, due to availability of large surface area, due to presence of partially filled d orbitals, and due to presence of variable oxidation state. So at least ನೀವು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಎರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು for 2 marks. Next one. So next one ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, in case of F block element most important ಯಾವುದಾಗತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ lanthanide contraction ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. In case of F block element, general electronic configuration of lanthanoid is, so general electronic configuration of lanthanoid is noble gas Ns2 N-1D 0 to 1 and N-2 F1 to 14. Then what is lanthanide contraction? Contraction ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, contraction always nothing but decreases, nothing but compress ಆಗೋದು. ಏನು decrease ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? The gradual decrease in the atomic and ionic radii of lanthanoids from lanthanum to lutetium is called as lanthanide contraction. So lanthanide contraction is nothing but the gradual decrease in the atomic radii of lanthanoids. Instead of lanthanum to lutetium ಬರೀಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ just you can write atomic radii of lanthanoids. ಇಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಓಕೆ. So the gradual decrease in atomic and ionic radii of lanthanoids is called as lanthanide contraction. Then what about actinide contraction? The gradual decrease in the atomic size or ionic radii of actinoids is called as actinide contraction. Then what are the major consequences of lanthanide contraction? The major consequence of lanthanide contraction is, due to lanthanide contraction, the elements of 5D series have almost same atomic and ionic radii to the corresponding elements of 4D series. Simple question ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನು? Zirconium and osmium are having same atomic size. Why? The same atomic size of zirconium as well as osmium or similar atomic size of zirconium and osmium is due to lanthanide contraction. Due to lanthanide contraction, elements of 5D series have the almost same atomic and ionic radii as that of 4D series. So one example, zirconium and osmium. Second one, basic character of their hydroxides decreases. So due to lanthanide contraction, basic character of their hydroxide anagata, it goes on decreases. Lanthanum is more basic than lutetium. If I move from lanthanum to lutetium, basic character decreases. ಎರಡು consequences, ಒಂದು basic nature decreases and another one zirconium and osmium, nothing but elements of 5d series and 4d series possess similar atomic and ionic radii. These two are the major consequences of lanthanide contraction. Next one, so ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಗಿವ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಗಿವ್ ರೀಸನ್, ಸೀರಿಯಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಟ್ಸ್ +4 ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್. ಗಿವ್ ರೀಸನ್, actinide contraction is greater from element to element than lanthanide contraction. Okay. So, ಈ ಥರ give reasons questions ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, that March 18. So, here one more question is there. What are interstitial compounds? Give an example. So, the compounds in which small non-metal atoms like hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, boron are trapped or nothing but present in the interstitial sites of the transition metal compounds, such are called as interstitial compounds. For example, one compound structure higide anಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay. So, in case ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಾಲಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟರ್ಸ್ಟೀಷಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇರೋ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದರೆ, such type of compounds we are going to call it as interstitial compounds. So, interstitial compounds are nothing but the compounds in which small non-metal atoms like hydrogen, carbon or nitrogen are trapped in the interstitial sites of transition metals, and such type of compounds are called as interstitial compounds. So, interstitial compounds are generally non-stoichiometric and they have indefinite composition. So, particular composition ಇರಬೇಕು, like 10%, 20%, so 70%, 30% or 50%, 50%. But they are having indefinite composition. So, why? Okay, the non-stoichiometry is due to variable oxidation state of transition metal and due to presence of defects. So, ನಾನು just question ಇರೋದು, what are interstitial compounds? Give example. So, definition practice ಮಾಡಿ. And here we are having some examples: titanium hydride or vanadium hydride or cobalt boride or titanium carbide or manganese nitride. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ one example ಬರೆದ್ರು ಸಾಕು. For 2 mark, what are interstitial compounds? Give an example. And interstitial compounds exhibit the following property. Mention any 2 properties of interstitial compounds. That interstitial compounds retain their metallic property, like that metallic luster, conductivity. Metallic nature as well as luster nature of the interstitial compounds remains the same as that of metal. For example, one metal ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, that metal is cobalt. For example, simple cobalt metallic ಇದೆ, simple cobalt electric current ನ conduct ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದರೆ, if I take interstitial compound cobalt boride, it also conducts electricity. Not only cobalt, even cobalt boride also conducts electricity. And another one, they are chemically inert. Interstitial compounds are chemically inert. One more important one. And another one, they have high melting and boiling point. For example, cobalt melting point 1000 degree ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದರೆ, cobalt boride it may be greater than 1000 degree Celsius. Pure metal ಗಿಂತ interstitial compounds ನ melting and boiling point ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. And another one, they are extremely hard and rigid. Mention any 2 or mention the properties of interstitial compounds. So, first one, interstitial compounds are having high melting and boiling point than the pure metals. Interstitial compounds are extremely hard. Interstitial compounds are chemically inert. And one more, interstitial compounds retain their properties like luster, and another one is conductivity. Give reason, cerium exhibit +4 oxidation state. Cerium exhibits +4 oxidation state because their tetravalent ions have stable configuration. So, cerium 4+ ಆದರೆ we are going to get xenon 4f0, 5d0, 6s0. Since cerium 4+ is highly stable, it is going to exhibit +4 oxidation state. And one more, you can expect actinide contraction is greater from lanthanide contraction. Why? In actinoids 5f orbitals are filled, but in case of lanthanides 4f electrons are filled. The shielding effect ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ due to change in shielding effect. So and effective nuclear charge, due to change in shielding effect as well as effective nuclear charge, ಆ reason ನ ಬೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು actinide contraction is greater from lanthanide contraction. So here in actinoids 5f orbitals are filled. The shielding effect of 5f electron is poor than that of 4f electrons. The shielding effect caused by 5f is less or it is poor than 4f electrons. Thus, effective nuclear charge experienced by the electrons in valence shell case of actinoid is much more than the experience by lanthanides. Very simple, due to very poor shielding effect of 5f electrons than 4f electrons. One line answer baribodu. Why actinide contraction is greater from elements to element than lanthanide contraction? Due to poor shielding effect of 5f electrons than 4f electrons. Shielding effect of 5f electrons 4f ಗಿಂತ poor ಇರುತ್ತೆ, therefore it forms greater contraction when compared to lanthanoids. So ಈ ಥರದ್ದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು 10 to 12 different give reason type of questions ನಾನು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೋ ಇಟ್ ಒನ್ಸ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಜರ್ ಈ ರೀಸನ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸೀರಿಯಂ ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಟ್ +4 ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ and actinide contraction is greater than lanthanide contraction. Why? And what are interstitial compounds? Give example. So definition along with example. Next, definition of lanthanide contraction and its consequences. But why lanthanide contraction ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Give the reason for lanthanide contraction. ಅಂದ್ರೆ lanthanide contraction is due to poor shielding effect and effective nuclear charge. ಅದೆರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Due to poor shielding effect and due to effective nuclear charge, the gradual decrease in atomic and ionic radii takes place. That gradual decrease in atomic and ionic radii we call it as lanthanide contraction. So consequences of lanthanide contraction, basic nature of their hydroxide decreases. The elements of 4d and 5d series are having almost same radii. And next one, so why D block elements are colored, why D block element form complex compounds, and why transition metals acts as good catalyst. So out of 3 ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು 2 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ರೀಸನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ನ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಒನ್, ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಮ್ ಡೈಕ್ರೋಮೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಮ್ ಪರ್ಮಾಂಗನೇಟ್. ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಮ್ ಡೈಕ್ರೋಮೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪರ್ಮಾಂಗನೇಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Potassium permanganate is manufactured with the help of chromate ore. Step 1 involves conversion of chromate ore into sodium chromate. Step 2 involves conversion of sodium chromate into sodium dichromate. And step 3 involves conversion of sodium dichromate into potassium dichromate. So when FeCrO4 treated with Na2CO3 in presence of air, it forms Na2CrO4. That Na2CrO4 when treated with H2SO4, it gives Na2Cr2O7. In step 3, Na2Cr2O7 when treated with the calculated amount of KCl, it gives K2Cr2O7. And manufacture of potassium permanganate from pyrolusite MnO2. When pyrolusite ore treated with KOH in excess of O2, it gives K2MnO4. That K2MnO4 undergoes disproportionation in presence of an acid to give KMNO4. ಇದು ಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ 5 to 7 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೂ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್, ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. KMNO4 and K2Cr2O7 between these two, one compulsory for 3 mark. So give reasons why D block elements are colored, why D block element form complex compounds, why D block element acts as catalyst. ಆ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ರೀಸನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ for 2 mark. And one more, lanthanide contraction or cerium exhibits +4 oxidation state. So F block ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಡಿ ಎ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲಾಗಿ ಅರೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಾದರೆ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್. ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನಿ ಡಿ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್? So magnetic moment of any D block element is given by nu, which is equals to square root of n into n plus 2 Bm, where Bm is Bohr magneton, SI unit of magnetic moment, where n is number of unpaired electrons. Just ಏನಾದರೂ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬರೀರಿ, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಆದರೂ ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ n into n plus 2 Bm, where n is number of unpaired electron, where Bm is magnet, SI unit of magnetic moment, that is Bohr magneton. Now let me try to calculate one simple. Let me take example. Okay, one example ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವ. Calculate magnetic moment of Fe2 plus. If I take simple iron, atomic number is 26, hence its electronic configuration is argon 3d6 4s2. But we don't want for Fe, we want for Fe2 plus. If I take Fe2 plus is due to loss of 2 electron, 2 electron 4s ಇಂದ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, hence electronic configuration is argon 3d6 4s0. 3d6 ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? 3d1, 3d2, 3d3, 3d4, 3d5, 3d6. Therefore total 4 unpaired electrons ಇದೆ. Therefore magnetic moment nu is equals to square root of n into n plus 2. If I substitute n as 4, 4 into 4 plus 2 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 6 4s are square root of 24 Bm. Okay, answer nearly 4.8 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So 4.8 Bm, Bohr magneton. So SI unit ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕಳ್ಕೊತೀರಾ. So this is the way of calculating magnetic moment. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ Fe2 plus ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಲೈಕ್ Fe3 plus, Mn2 plus, Ni2 plus ಈ ಥರ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಆಟಮ್ ಆರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ದು. ದೆನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದೆನ್ ಯು ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್, you just substitute value of n in this expression, then we end up with one magnetic moment value. Okay, ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡುವ. ಓಕೆ, ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಡಿ, ಒನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ಇಫ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ D1 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ 3D1 ಇಂದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ 1 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. If it is 3D2 ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ number of unpaired electron is 2. If it is 3D3, number of unpaired electron is 3. If it is 3D4, number of unpaired electron is 4. If it is 3D5, number of unpaired electron is 5. If it is 3D6, number of unpaired electron is 4. 3D7, number of unpaired electron is 3. 3D8, number of unpaired electron is 8. 3D1, number of unpaired electron is again 1. So ಹೇಗಾಗತ್ತೆ? We know that D subshell is having 5 orbital. 3D1, 1 unpaired electron. 3D2, 2 unpaired electron. 3D3, 3 unpaired. 3D4, 3D5, 5 unpaired electrons ಇದೆ. 3D6 electrons pair ಆಗಿದೆ. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 3D7, 3 unpaired electrons. 3D8, 2 unpaired electrons. 3D9, 1 unpaired electron. If I take 3D10, number of unpaired electron is 0. If there is no unpaired electron, such type we call it as diamagnetic. If there exist 1 or 2, we are going to call them as paramagnetic in their behavior. So ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ನ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ n into n plus 2 and its SI unit is Bm. ಓಕೆ ಗೈಸ್, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್. ಸೊ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಮ್ ಡೈಕ್ರೋಮೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಮ್ ಪರ್ಮಾಂಗನೇಟ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ 6 to 7 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಟಿಲ್ ದೆನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ದೇ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರಿ.